On the news, death toll from Niger State tanker explosion hits 98, 69 injured and 20 shops burnt. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike accuses Rivers Governor Fubara of disregarding Tinubu's peace deal, rules out reconciliation. Donald Trump takes oath of office on Inauguration Day as United States 47th President. Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Simisa Latiku. The death toll from the tanker explosion that occurred at Diko Junction, Niger State on Saturday night has risen to 98, while 69 people have been injured. The explosion also left 20 shops completely burnt, causing significant losses to business owners in the area. In a statement issued by the Director General of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Abdullahi Baba Ara, he described the incident as a catastrophic tragedy that has thrown the state into mourning. He also confirmed that rescue operations are ongoing, with emergency responders working tirelessly to ensure that the injured receive adequate medical attention and to recover the bodies of those who lost their lives. Disturbed by the number of persons reportedly lost to repeated incidences of tanker explosions in various parts of the country, President Bola Tinubu has set up a high-powered committee mandated to hold a reoccurrence of such accidents. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who disclosed this when he led a federal government delegation on a condolence visit to the Emir of Suleja, revealed that the president has also mandated the National Orientation Agency to sensitize the public about risks of scooping fuel from falling tankers. And in other stories, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has rolled out a resolution of the rift with Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara. Speaking during a media chat broadcast in Abuja over the weekend, Wike criticized Fubara for failing to adhere to the directives issued by President Bola Tinubu during a peace meeting aimed at resolving their differences. The minister also rejected accusations of his alleged bid to control Rivers State, asserting his contributions to the economic development and political structure of the state.
What is difficult to resolve? Mr. President, the sovereign of our nation, in his own wisdom, in his own fatherly way, say, look, you come, you come, you come, you come, you come, you sit down. This is the problem. I want this problem to be resolved. You go, withdraw the impeachment notice. You go, do this. You go, do this. You go, do this. You, elder, read it for everybody here. Elder, read it. Do we all agree with it? Yes. Elder, what about you? Yes. We agreed. Fine. The parties went home. The assembly withdrew the impeachment notice. You now do this, do this. You did one, you did two. Then you send people to go to court to hang the other one to say, oh, people went to court. Elder, have you gone back to Mr. President? This assignment you gave, we have done one, we have done two. We're not able to do 3 and 4. Please, Mr. President, can you call us back? See whether we can find a solution to 3 and 4. Since 1 and 2 have been executed. Nothing. Nothing. The next thing you see, oh, somebody did this, somebody did that. Mr. President, in his wisdom, Mr. President, you know, sometimes when people play politics, you play politics, President says, you come, you come, you come. You were hearing when they were saying, President, well, they were political, were not constitutional. I have never seen that happen in my life. A president of a country will call people Sit them down. Do this. One party goes. It's political. It's not binding. It's not constitutional. Come on, who does that?
Well, let's discuss Wike's stance against a reconciliation with Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Legal expert and political affairs analyst Evans Ufeli joins me on the news. Thank you for your time, sir. Now, are you surprised that Wike has ruled out a resolution of this rift with Rivers State Governor, especially when many believe that the solution to this crisis lies with both men?
Wike has shown a very high sense of unrepentance in the case under reference. I mean, he's attributing this to mean that politically that the president called all parties to go withdraw cases and act accordingly. He's saying now that it's Fubara that didn't withdraw cases, whereas it was his own men, the 27 of them who defected. They were the ones who actually didn't withdraw most of the cases that they filed at that time. Now he's turning back to say that it's Fubara that didn't withdraw cases and the rest of that. I think he's not being honest with himself. He's still living in that bitterness of being unable to control the states at the same time serving as the minister of the FCT. I think it's very wrong because leaders should show example. I mean, if you are making this kind of statement that you are ruling out the possibility of a settlement completely, what do you expect the younger generation to do? You are supposed to, as a leader, teach those who are coming behind the way of leadership. It is not good leadership to say you cannot forgive and then you cannot reconcile, that once there's dispute, you must remain enemies for life. I don't think it's good morals. There's no morals in that kind of judgment. It's a poor judgment. The judgment that is coming out from vindictive mindset, which cannot in any way lead to any kind of progress in that state. You cannot, withstand and call everybody, shut everybody down to agree to your own propositions at all times. Then once there's a dissenting voice, you rule out the possibility of ever having anything to do with that person again in future. Because indeed you are closing up and you are shutting your political career up. You are fighting with everybody at the same time. It doesn't work like that. He's an experienced politician. I expect him to understand. He's an elderly person. I expect him to have experience, good experience, that he can share and then become a mentor to some other persons who look up to him. But when you hear this from him, this is quite not what it's supposed to be at all. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. So considering how deep this rift has become, do you think that Wike's statement will have any consequences for Fubara's governance and Rivers State politics in general?
Of course, he has already said in his mind what he intends to do, that he's not going to ever reconsider his stance. Even though not too long ago, the local government chairman, did considered to certain kind of amicable relationship with the government on seats and the rest of that. But for Wike to be towing a different line entirely, it does not speak well of him and his political career. It does not also speak well of even the government he's serving. Yes, because now he's trying to front that it's because of why disobeyed the president. That's why he's turning it over. That's not the truth, because even the 27 lawmakers, they disobeyed the president's a resolution. What the president asked them to do, the 27 lawmakers didn't do it as well. In fact, they are the ones who didn't withdraw cases at all. Fubara went ahead and, when they withdrew the impeachment notice, he went ahead also and withdrew the cases in court. But the lawmakers retained some cases. And when they came back to a boiling point, they used those cases against Fubara. Just go and check the report, the record, the trajectory of this. I've been doing analysis on this for the past 1 year and on this case for the past 1 year and sometimes I hear myself talking Fubara and Wike. These are two adults. they're out of line, they're out of course. And now what is going on is also the selfish interests of politicians. This has robbed the people of Rivers State a lot, democratically speaking, and they still are not ready to come to terms with themselves so that they can push and project Rivers State forward. This is quite very unfortunate, to say the least.
Hopefully there's a solution to this rift between Wike and Fubara. Mr. Evans Ufele, we appreciate your contribution. Thank you for your input. Moving on, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, has identified inflation as the most pressing challenge in stabilizing Nigeria's economy. Speaking during the Senate Committee on Finance review of the ministry's 2025 budget, Edun outlined the government's strategies for addressing inflation and other economic challenges. Our correspondent Folashade Olusegun has details.
The provisions of the Finance Ministry's 38.3 billion naira budget proposal are part of its efforts to drive Nigeria's economic recovery and stabilization. During the budget presentation to the Senate Committee on Finance, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, said rising inflation in Nigeria undermines the impact of economic reforms and hampers progress, making tackling inflation a top priority for the government in 2025 and beyond. He highlighted a series of measures being deployed to tame inflation, including increasing domestic food production and improving food accessibility for Nigerians.
It is still a difficult route to travel, although we are very much going in the right direction. The economy is turning the corner. We can look forward to brighter prospects. Inflation remains stubbornly high, and Central Bank is doing its utmost to ensure that it tames inflation so that living costs can come down.
Lawmakers, however, pressed the minister for clarity on the ministry's strategy for tackling broader economic challenges. Key concerns raised include the inflow of funds into the economy in 2024 and how the revenues generated during the year were utilized, given the persistently harsh economic conditions.
Inflation is skyrocketing. Our debt exposures are increasing. And the average purchasing power of Nigerians out there in the street, it can't resonate with them. When you say our economy is improving, foreign reserves are increasing, and so on, it doesn't resonate.
Looking at it also that the revenue to GDP have increased. In 2022-2021 was 7%. In 2023 became 9-point-something%, and now we have it at 10.5%. That proves that the economy is working.
Little corruption in the agencies and ministries that you have noticed that probably brought the attention to bring about this centralized working system. The centralized system now is awesome. It is not working. There is still a bottleneck of corruption, and unless that is corrected, and I want us to reflect with the House Committee, find a way to alter this centralized working system.
In his response, Edun reiterated the government's commitment to bold reforms under President Bola Tinubu's administration, stating the private sector investment in equity markets remain the most viable tool for revitalizing the economy.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he saved the economy, he saved the society. How did he save the economy? In his time, every penny spent has been earned or has been procured in the financial markets on willing buyer, willing seller terms. Because they believed in his macroeconomic plan, the multilateral institutions, the repositories of the cheapest money internationally, 40 years to pay back.
The 38.3 billion naira budget proposal of the ministry was thoroughly scrutinized by the Senate Committee on Finance, and after extensive review, the committee approved the budget. Lawmakers commended the Ministry of Finance, noting that Nigeria's economy has recorded growth from 5% to 10% over the past 3 years, despite persistent challenges.
With a personnel cost of 2.4 billion, an overhead of 8.5 billion, and a capital of 27.4 billion, is it the opinion of the committee that we approve this proposal? Those in support say yeah. And those against, the ayes have it.
With the 2025 budget approved and a clear focus on combating inflation, the government is taking a significant step towards stabilizing the economy. However, the success of these reforms will depend on effective implementation and private sector collaboration as Nigeria works to achieve sustainable growth in the coming years.
And operators of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have made a significant breakthrough in the fight against drug trafficking in the country with the arrest of a 26-year-old nursing student who attempted to ingest 76 wraps of cocaine before boarding a flight to India. The operation also led to the interception of illicit drug consignments bound for Borno, Kano and Abuja, and resulting in the arrest of 33 suspects across Lagos, the Federal Capital Territory, Kano, Kwara, Kogi and Taraba State. TV360's Okpayemi Owosheni has more on the story.
In a statement by the NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi, 26-year-old Esther Uzodinma, a 211 nursing student at Noida International University in India, was arrested on January 16, 2025 at the Royal Park Hotel in Kano State just hours before a scheduled flight back to India. According to reports, Esther had been recruited by a drug cartel in India and had traveled to Nigeria for the Christmas holidays. She was due to swallow 76 pellets of cocaine weighing 1.34 kilograms before catching a flight from Malam Aminu Kano International Airport. A cover was blown when NDLEA operatives intercepted the shipment of the cocaine in Lagos. The consignment was intercepted on the Okene-Lokoja Highway in Kogi State, where 31-year-old Cosmas Okorie carrying the drugs concealed in an audio speaker was apprehended. Okorie was reportedly on his way to deliver the drugs to Esther in Kano State. In another major operation, NDL operative arrested 4 suspects on the Okene-Lokoja Abuja Highway, seizing over 38,000 pills of tramadol concealed in audio speakers and clothes. The suspects were traveling to various states, including Maiduguri in Borno State, Kano and Abuja. Further operations led to the seizure of 67 kilograms of skunk, as well as other illicit substances, including codeine syrup, metamorphine, and various psychoactive drugs from a hideout in Lekki, Lagos. While commending the officers and men of the commands of the agency for the arrest and seizures, the chairman and chief executive officer of NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Mohammed Bubamara, urged them and their compatriots across the country not to rest on their oars as they intensify their balanced approach to drug supply reduction and drug demand reduction efforts. Okpayemi Owosheni, TV360 News, Lagos.
Still to come on news now, Nigeria gets 2026 Commonwealth Fencing Championships hosting rights. Stay with us for details. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. The death toll from the tanker explosion that occurred at Diko Junction, Niger State on Saturday night has risen to 98, while 69 people have been injured. The explosion has also left 20 shops completely burnt, causing significant losses to business owners in the area. In a statement issued by the Director General of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Abdullahi Baba Ara, he described the incident as a catastrophic tragedy that has thrown the state into mourning. We also told you that the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has ruled out a resolution of the rift with Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara. Speaking during a media chat broadcast in Abuja over the weekend, Wike criticized Fubara for failing to adhere to directives issued by President Bola Tinubu during a peace meeting aimed at resolving their differences. The FCT minister also rejected accusations of his alleged bid to control Rivers State, asserting his contributions to the economic development and political structure of the state. And in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. Two of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so... Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no, you don't need to do this. We're only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Okay, which came out with this one? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Let's join Joy Uchejim, who joins us with more news in business. Over to you, Joy.
Thank you, Simi. Now, in its avowed determination to revitalize the nation's economy, the Nigerian government has expressed its commitment to fostering strategic global mining partnerships that drive economic growth, promote investment, and encourage innovations. Nigeria's Minister of State Finance, Doris Uzoka-Nite, led the charge at the Forum Minerals Forum in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where she highlighted the country's vast resource wealth and the government's readiness to collaborate with international partners to drive economic growth, promote investment, and encourage innovation to establish the country as a leader in the global minerals and energy landscape. The minister reaffirmed that these efforts reflect the Nigerian government's determination to revitalize the economy and strengthen economic ties with global stakeholders, including Saudi Arabia. And as the world's elite arrive in the snow-capped Swiss mountains for the World Economic Forum Annual Meeting 2025, the event promises to be a pivotal moment as global leaders address the world's most pressing challenges. With more than 350 government leaders alongside business executives, civil society leaders, global experts, and other influential individuals from more than 130 countries. The forum's organizers say the event, which runs from January 20th to January 24th, 2025, is intended to drive dialogue and create solutions to the world's shared problems. The World Economic Forum's founder and chairman emphasized the role of Davos as a unique venue in bringing together thousands of decision makers to address global challenges. We'll take a short break and return with stock market reports. Welcome back. Nigeria's equities market recorded a win on the first day of trading this week, increasing slightly by 0.02%, all thanks to investors that bought shares of SCOA Nigeria and WAPIC Insurance, among others. Caverton Offshore Support Group clinched the top position on the gainers chart for the second trading day in a row, with 10% share price appreciation, closing at 2.42 Naira per share, followed by WAPIC Insurance. Now, by the end of Monday's trading on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, 353 million shares worth 7.9 billion naira changed hands across 13,891 deals. Now, taking a look at our global equities, the dollar drifted lower and global stocks were cautiously positive on Monday as investors awaited a flurry of policy announcements during the first hours of Donald Trump's second presidency and either rate hike in Japan at the end of the week. Meanwhile, the UK's FTSE and Japan's Nikkei were unaffected by this and closed on a bullish note, as well as the Japan's Nikkei. Now, switching gears to the forex scene, the Naira dipped further to trade at 1,665 Naira to a dollar on the black market. The British pound traded at 2,070 Naira and the euros are at 1,695 Naira on the black market. And that's the both business and stock market updates. Back to you, Simi, for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much. Join on the foreign scene. Donald Trump has been sworn in for a second term as the 47th President of the United States. The Republicans' inauguration in Washington, D.C. was originally scheduled to take place outdoors on the marble steps of the Capitol as usual, but it was relocated indoors due to frigid weather. The 78-year-old's return to the White House comes 4 years after his previous re-election attempt ended in defeat, which he denied. Trump, the first person convicted of criminal charges to serve as U.S. president, will replace incumbent Democrat Joe Biden following his victory over outgoing Vice President Kamala Harris in November's presidential election. And on sport, Nigeria has made history by being awarded hosting rights for the 2026 Commonwealth Senior and Veterans Fencing Championships, becoming the first African country to host this prestigious event. The Commonwealth Fencing Federation conditionally approved Nigeria's bid with certain conditions to be met for the 2026 tournament. This achievement follows Nigeria's successful hosting of the Fencing World Cup last year, the first time a sub-Saharan African country hosted such an event. Over 10 countries participated in the World Cup hosted by Charterhouse Lagos, with Egypt and Saudi Arabia dominating. And Udinese coach Costa Ronje says the club's atmosphere is still very good despite the betting scandal involving Super Eagles goalkeeper Maduka Okoye as they prepare for the clash against Como in Senegalia. The 25-year-old goalkeeper is currently under the Udine Public Prosecutor's Office over suspicious betting patterns surrounding a yellow card he received during a Serie A match against Lazio in March 2024. The goalkeeper's legal representatives have dismissed the allegations as baseless, maintaining that they lack substantial evidence. Well, that's it on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.